Hi everyone, in this session I'm going to give some more tips and tricks on using the Smartboard. I'll be analysing a poem and using various tools to look at how we can highlight words and hide words. So let me begin by selecting a poem, and I've actually picked out a poem with a translation by a modern Arab poet called Mahmoud Derwish. So I'm going to select, I can copy and select from the website, so I'm going to select say the first part of the poem and paste it over here, as so. And then I'm going to go back and also get the translation and paste it by its side. So if I just select, okay, so there you go. One of the other things that I can do is also possibly put in an audio recording, and on SoundCloud I've managed to find a recording of this particular poem, and I can simply, there's various ways to do it. I can simply just copy the link, and just while I'm on this, I guess one of the really good things about SoundCloud is you can pick a particular point in the poem and comment on it, so that's something that is really useful if you want to sort of discuss an audio recording of some literature or some poetry. So I've got the link. Let me go back to the Smartboard file and I'm going to insert the link. So I've got insert link, and it's a web page, and so I want it as an object, and there you go. And when I click on it, it takes me to SoundCloud, which I can then play. So that's something I can keep within my smart notebook. And for the moment, maybe it's good just to minimize that. Just put this to the side. There you go. Before we look at various things that we can do, and we're on the issue of sound, let's look at just making a recording of this that I might want to play at the beginning. As in terms of assessment, I might mispronounce certain words and ask the class, for example, whether I've missed out any vowel endings or how it should be pronounced. So one of the ways I can do that is to click on my writing, select sound, and from here I can either browse an MP3 file that I might have downloaded previously, or do a 1-minute recording which is live. So if I just start a 1-minute recording, Ana min hunak wali dhikrayat. So that's the first two lines. So I'm going to stop the 1-minute there. Okay. I'll just do attach recording, and you should see now a speaker sign over here. I can now, if I click on this, it should then play. Here I've got side-by-side translation, and there's various things we can do. Let's start by looking at the highlighters. So I'm going to go to my pens and I'm going to choose a highlighter. I'll get various colors, and I can begin by just choosing a color and highlighting various words. I can obviously go across and do the same and see if I can match. And the good thing about this is these parts that I've highlighted are movable, so I can move these around. And one possible way that I can get a group is to involved in the translation is to possibly select various words and their translation. Another thing about the highlight, because I've got different colors, I can select different parts of the poem and assign it to various groups. Maybe there's a green group, a purple group, who have to work on those particular words, or even a whole sentence, or maybe two sentences. And again, those are lines that I can move up and down. So let me rub this out. Now, another way we can analyze the words is just by using the pen, but changing the thickness. So you've got a nice thick option there, and then changing the color so it blends with the background. So I'm going to choose white. And before I do that, I might want to just increase the size of this. I can make it a bit more bigger. Okay, and likewise over here. Can make this bigger. Now I'll go back to my pens, and what I can do is, because I've selected white, I can go over certain words, maybe even just rub them out. And given I've got the original in the Arabic, I can ask students what they think these particular words should be. I can then take my rubber and simply go over it at the end. So that's quite a handy tool to have. Another function that I might want to use is just presenting the actual poem, is to hide the whole poem right at the beginning and present it line by line. So just by using the screen shade option, I can then scroll down and take it line by line, as so. This also allows me to move from left to right or from right to left, as so. Now another pen that might be very useful when analysing words might be the magic pen. The magic pen is quite magical in that you can do a number of things with it. Firstly, I might just want to highlight certain things, but I don't really want it to stay there. So if I just maybe underline a few things, maybe there's some nouns or verbs or sentences or hints. So I've just done that, and in a few seconds you'll see they've all begin to disappear. Now I might want to maybe focus on a particular line or sentence, and so I might say, well, let's look at this particular line, and I'll draw an oval shape and it covers everything else. I can then take my arrow and move this up and down, or move it to the Arabic, and that allows me to really focus in on particular areas. And I'll just click the cross to remove it. Now I might also want to magnify a word. In that case, again, I'll go back to my magic pen and I'll draw a rectangular shape. And then I can move, and now this has become a magnifying glass. It'll allow me to really magnify the screen and really focus on particular words that I might want to use. Finally, if this is a translation exercise or even a word analysis, one of the things I might want to do is just jumble the words up. And one of the ways I can do that is take my screen capture tool, make sure where it says capture to a new page is not ticked, otherwise you'll just keep on generating new pages. And you can select how you're going to capture, whether it's going to be a freehand image, the whole screen, half screen, or a rectangle. I'm going to choose a rectangle. So I'm going to choose that. And one of the things I could do is just take snippets of various sentences. Let's do that again. Maybe we can do that. And maybe one or two others. And so forth. And then I can simply have these up in a jumbled order. I can hide the poem and ask students to come up to the board or think about the word order or the sentence order that the poem should flow in and justify a particular order.